Good afternoon. Happy Friday before Christmas week. Today was a happy Friday before Christmas. It was slow, though. I got to say, it was a slow day, though, despite all of that, which we expected. It pre-market was a little bit slow this morning, but we still caught some awesome plays today for another green day, all green week this week. So let's break it all down trade by trade, how I did what I did, why I traded what I did, what I didn't trade, and the whole 9 yards here. Should be a quick little video for you to hop on into the holiday weekend and go enjoy your time with family and all that. So let's go and dive into it. Now, going in the market open today, there really wasn't a whole lot moving. And so the pre-market watch this morning was a little bit slimmer than usual. We had PRPH, WYFI, VYNE, and NRXS. Now, the only one that I actually traded from this list was the one that says to be determined. And now the only one that I actually traded from this list was this NRXS because PRPH faded after the open, WYFI never met criteria, and VYNE just didn't have enough volume. So I came into the open knowing that I had to be watching this off of 330 on NRXS, and I was able to play it quite well. Now, we knew we had to watch it off of that 330 level because if you look back here from pre-market, that's sort of where this bottom was put in. So we have these higher lows confirming here, and of course, back whenever I posted that list, that 330 was going to be that key level to watch right through here. Of course, by the time this thing opened up, it was much higher, but again, I was still watching that flush. And so I knew we had range here back up into the pre-market highs. You can see up here around 365, 370-ish, and so I was able to play this quite well. And took it off the opening flush, right there out the 20 moving average, and I got a quick move here from 350 back to the 360s. And so I was able to start the day with a little icebreaker there out of market open. Little opening flush trade because we saw it maintain trend. After a buyer stepped in off that flush, took the entry for the squeeze up higher. I was able to get something there. I then tried to look for the continuation higher. I took an entry here after candle continued a little bit higher to see if I couldn't anticipate this breakout higher, and it tried to make that move, and it just didn't. And I'm making a little bit of profit here, but overall it was pretty much flat. And I really wanted to see it get extending there. And of course, as it fakes out off this high, that's why I instant exit. So sold the rest of my entry. I also tried to take it here off the pullback off of the 20 moving average for the curl back up into the top of its range. Of course, I saw instant rejection, so took that out of break even as well. So overall, I am sitting here nice on this. However, most of that profit is from the opening flush trade. And this wasn't actually the best setup of the morning. So we actually had a few other things out there like AZI today, which AZI we actually caught a pretty awesome move on. Now, this one I liked. We played this a few days ago for a pretty big move, and I was watching it again today because Zoom can actually see how I was watching it. Now, I knew that if we got the break of the 20 moving average, which sat right here, it was at like 250, that we had some range here back up into the top of this range, what, 310 or so? 310 from a 260 breakout. So again, this halts up this morning, and let's mark up that 260 level. All right, so I knew that over 260, we had room here to about 310 or so. And so I was able to play this pretty well. It halts up out of the open over that 260 level. So I'm watching the resumption. And of course, halts have been pretty strong lately. Through October, November, I really wasn't playing halts too much just because the market was not really hot enough. But the market has been pretty hot the last couple of weeks. And so I was able to get out here and actually do something pretty awesome on this. And so this resumes in a strong way. Pulls back and gets bought back up. As soon as I see buyers step back in on this candle, I enter with a stop loss at the bottom of the candle to see if we couldn't get that move higher because we knew we had range here on the daily chart at 310, 315. So that being said, I got the move here. As you can see, I was able to play it here pretty well. Again, entry here was at 290 or 289 was the fill. Stop loss goes right here at 280, so 9 cents a share of risk. And I got a move here, as you can see, from that 289 all the way to about 315. Cool. Awesome stuff. Little 25-cent move off of 10 cents of risk. Awesome stuff. I'll take it. Then we see this double top off the high. I'm out of this at this point. I'm looking for pullbacks because this thing was so strong. I want to look for pullbacks. So now it pulls back, and I'm looking to see it put in place a high or low. And I see buyers step in here, and I get kind of aggressive. You can see here, as it gets bought back up, I take the entry. And maybe a little bit aggressive there. I should have waited for a pullback. It did pull back again off this low, and I could have got filled a lot better and had a lot more size. But nonetheless, we had a room, of course, back up into the high of day. And I got that move here. You can see took it there at 308. I got a move to 315. Got a majority, then sold the rest down here as I break back down. Then, as I confirmed to get off this pullback, we can see right here, check this out. We have this confirmed low. And so as price comes back into that confirmed bottom, again off the 90 MA, I snag a reentry and take a break-even trade here. You can see it tries to make a move to the upside, but what I notice here is that this range is getting way too tight, as you can see. I didn't really have much upside anymore because we had these lower highs stacked overhead. So as it rejected off this candle, I went ahead and sold the rest of my entry. We're all for a break-even trade here. So I had a win here. I had a win here and had a break-even trade here. Now, as it broke out on this candle here, I tried to take it for that breakout higher back up into the high of day. Stop loss was right here. Now, I saw it try to break out higher here, and as soon as it breaks out higher, that candle instantly flipped and rejected. So just went ahead and took a full exit, sat back, and just moved away from this. I could tell it looked kind of heavy to the upside from there. After that didn't follow through, we saw sellers step in. All right, this is a. Then you can see here, this area of supply was respected here, where price again rejected later on as well. So that was that. AZI did quite well on today, and of course LAZR. Now, the problem that I have with LAZR is the float here was huge. You're looking at 70 million share float, and it got to a point where I was like, all right, so it's trading decent. It's predictable, but is it really worth the squeeze? Because I was trading this for like a cent or two. So, it got to a point where it's like, all right, I'm sitting here risking a cent to make 2 cents. And it's just, even at some point, half a cent of risk to make a cent. And it just, got 2 small wins on this. And it got to a point where it's like, all right, it's not worth the squeeze. And so it tries to get breaking out here, topping tail off the high, and it took a full exit there. I was able to take some profit. And it's a good setup, don't get me wrong. It's just the float tells all. Float really does tell all. And it wasn't a bad setup. You can see here, we have this nice little 1-minute flag breakout. Yeah, but no, just not worth the squeeze. Now, that was really all I traded today. There wasn't really much else that happened. So, times like this where, we got to look back and say, look, this week was a massive green week. Green every single day this week. Staying picky, staying disciplined. We crushed it. Execution was on fire this week. But the sad thing is, on days like today where it's Friday, the Friday before holiday week next week, when it's expected to be a little bit slower, you've got people out there that completely act like they forgot how to trade. I was watching the chat today. I saw people bag holding that, chasing this and chasing that, because they want to try to make something happen. And what you'll see today, based on these trades that I've just shown you, that's all I've traded today. Nothing was fantastic. Nothing was stand out. I took some nice base hits today with smaller size, but that's it. And the number of bag holds that I see, it's like 2026 is coming around the corner before you know it. And if it's right now, let's make this bigger. Let's talk. We are less than 2 weeks away from 2026, and some of you are still bag holding, still chasing, still making the same exact mistakes you made this year, the last year, the year before that, and you're still doing it. Slow days like today expose your weaknesses and show where you have room for improvement. And if you find yourself bag holding, chasing, not sitting back when you need to, well, that's your job going into 2026. And don't say, well, okay, on January 1st, I'm going to start. No. Why wait until the new year to start doing what you should be doing already? So look, don't let 2026 be a repeat of this year. If you're still struggling, that output's not going to change unless you change what's going into it. So in any case, all that said, that is all I traded today. That is all that there was really to trade today. Not a whole lot else really moving. The free watch list did do awesome today. The 2 of them actually made their moves after meeting criteria, albeit I didn't trade them today because it was so slow. I wanted to step away. So MDLN, the game plan on last night's watch list was to watch for confirmation over 42.30 and look for pullbacks off of VWAP, and this made a perfect move. Then you also have VYND make the move out of market open today where it flushed, confirmed off 57s, and made a move up into the target of 62. So that was also awesome, but I didn't play either. VYND volume was a little bit light, you can see here. MDLN was awesome, but I was pretty much done by then. So all that said, that is the morning recap. Hopefully you had an awesome day today. I know this week overall was just an awesome, awesome week, and I'm just ready to come back in next week and crush it all over again. Of course, I'll be showing up every single day except for Christmas because the market will be closed. So if you did learn a thing or two from this video, as always, make sure to subscribe for daily content just like this and claim your 7-day free trial to trade with me every single day in real time and get alerts, education, chat room access, watch list, scanners, news, our new journaling app, and so much more. And that being said, hopefully I catch you back on Monday, and if I don't, I wish you and your family a happy holidays next week. If you're going to be traveling, travel safe, be smart on the roads, be responsible on the roads. So if I see you Monday, I see you Monday. But if I don't, I'll catch you back after the holidays. See you guys.